Hello, 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 friends. Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Friday. This is Caron Bailey. I am your independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I am the ATX Stampin' Lady. How is everyone this Friday evening? I'm so glad that you're all able to join me this evening. I'm going to wait just a few more minutes to see who pops on to join me. Don't forget, guys, that interacting with me gets you an opportunity to win the cards that we are creating this evening, gets you into that drawing. And also keeps me from talking to myself. All right, everybody, we are in almost the final days of Stampin' Up Celebration. Celebration ends February 28th. As today is the 21st, that means we've got 7 more days of shopping to do. Celebration is Stampin' Up's annual event where when you spend, this year it's $60, when you spend, for every $60 you spend in my online store, you're able to receive an item free of your choice for free from the Celebration specific catalog. Spend $120, you get the option to pick 2 $60 items or one of the 120 items. Spend $180, you have the opportunity to spend earn 3 $60 items or 2 $60 items and one $120 item. Right? So you get 3, right? I think that's right. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, you do the math. My math is not mathing. Anyway, I am totally excited. You guys also, if you are going to shop Celebration, I'm going to have the my host code pinned into the comments so you're able to take a look at that. I'm also going to end up putting this video in the guide. Guys, if you like the videos that I post in this group, make sure you go ahead, you expand the video on the ones that's posted. Click on those 3 dots and click download. We just received notification from Facebook that videos will be saved for 30 days and then after that they will be deleted. So if there is a video that you see here that you would like, make sure to download it. I am going to make sure that I have transferred all of my videos from Facebook over to my YouTube channel so that you can find them there as well. All right, we are about 2 minutes in, almost 3 minutes. We are tonight. Oh, first of all, can you hear me? I hope you guys can hear me. Tonight it's Funfold Friday here in the craft room. So I'm glad that you're here. Please like, share this video, comment, invite others to join the group. And let's grow our group and have a lot of fun. All right, so tonight, like I said, it's Funfold Friday. We are working on this Funfold, and it's called the Flip Back, oh my gosh, Swing Funfold. That's what it's called. I made a card like this for a swap previously, but I did not do a video for it, so I'm going to take make a video for it now. I'm going to do it in 2 cards. I'm going to do one in a 6x6 card size, and then I'm going to show you how to do your measurements and make it into an A2 size card. Now, as always, when I am practicing and playing with new techniques, new folds, I tend to break out my retired products or non-Stampin' Up products. So tonight my designer series paper is coming from the Paper Blooms designer series paper, and this is a 155 number, guys. We are in the 164. So this is a couple catalogs ago, and here's the designer series paper. I'm also going to be using dies from the retired set Hippo and Friends. Let's put that back there. In the description for this evening's meeting, I mentioned to you that you should probably think about doing some nesting dies. So that's why I chose the Hippo and Friends dies. Lots of nesting opportunities in this Oh, this one too. I don't know, I might use this one. We'll see. Anyway, so we have options that we can choose from, okay? Not quite sure yet what I'm going to do for sentiments. So we'll have a little bit of play with that. And as far as stamping goes tonight, you guys, I don't know what it is, but I have been really into my ephemera these days. And I am probably going to use, these are Paper Studios from, these are Hobby Lobby brand, I believe. So I may be using products from there to finalize my cards. But again, this is to show you the technique, how to do it, not necessarily the process of making the card. So to get started tonight, we are going to work with start with our 6x6 card base, our 6x6 card. Okay, so to create this card, here's what we're going to need, and I tried to cut it all for you already. We need a card base that is 6 inches by 12 inches, scored at 6, exactly half, and we're going to do the rest of the scoring in a little bit, okay? But that is your basic card for a 6x6 card base. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm just burnishing my fold, and this is Whisper White Thick. This is very thick cardstock. I try to use thick cardstock for my card base. And then I told you in the instructions you're going to need 2 pieces of designer series paper. I cut down 6, this is a 12 by 12, I cut it down to 6 by 12, and then I did 2 pieces of 6 by 6. Now when we are trimming this down, we are going to decrease by 1/4 inch, so we need these to trim these down to 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. 2 pieces. Okay? And I'm going to use the back side of this one, just for ease and purpose, okay? Then we're going to need 1 piece that's going to mat, a matting layer. I've chosen boho blue. And this is 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. And then we're also going to need a piece of designer series paper. I call this designer series paper 1, and this is going to be 2 3/4 by 5 3/4, and we're going to mat that on a piece that is 2 7/8 by 5 7/8. Okay, we're going to use some scraps for other things, but we'll work with those and trim those as we need it. Alright, so to begin this card, like I said, you already have your initial score line at 6 inches, right? So we cut that, trim that into 6 by 6 to make our card base. So what we're going to do now is we're going to align our card, whichever is going to be our front side, and we're going to score this at 3. Why are we scoring this at 3? 3 inches is exactly a half of 6 inches, right? So that's the number that you need to think about. It's going to be a half inch, a half of an inch, sorry, a half of whatever this width is that you're playing with. Okay. So we've got that scored. Let's put this aside right now. And we don't want to go ahead, I don't want to go ahead and fold on this score line just yet. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and take our 6 by 6, whatever we're going to use on this inside, and we're going to mat it and adhere it to the inside of this card. If you are going to make this, we're going to need a piece of white for the inside for any writing. So you can cut that later, and that's probably going to be What did we do? 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 is our designer series paper. I would take that down maybe about a quarter or a half an inch on the inside. You get to decide what your inside piece measurement will be. Okay? Oops. Come on. The beauty of liquid glue. Yeah. It went on a little bit crooked, so I just had to lift it so that I could reposition it properly. Now this is a square card, so literally you can, as long as you add it on there, you can twist it and turn it to be where you need for it to be. Oh gosh. I don't know why I'm keep getting this offline a little bit. I do. There we go. That'll work right there. Alright. I'm going to give that a good burnish. And I'm going to adhere it to the inside of the card. Whoops. If you have chosen a directional pattern for the inside, pay attention to that before you go ahead and add it to the inside of your card base. Okay. Perfect. All right. We're also going to add our other piece of 5 3/4 on the inside of this card. Now I'm not matting this side, and the reason I'm not matting it is because we're going to die cut this side, and we don't want to add too much of a bulk. We don't want to make it too bulky, so that you have trouble with your die cutting machine trying to feed it through to get it cut properly. Okay. Now again, it doesn't matter if you do this orientation or this one. The card is, the designer series paper is, doesn't matter. All right. Now, you do want to go ahead and make sure you add adhesive. You don't just add adhesive to the outside, because when we die cut this, excuse me, you won't have the opportunity to put adhesive on the inner portion of this. So you want to add your adhesive right from the start. Now I'm going to go ahead and score this one more time, because I want to have that score line go through both pieces of paper, designer series paper and the card base. All right. So now that we have that, we now need to decide, the moment of truth and decision making, what die do we want to use for our opening? Okay. I kind of like this one. I like this one. And I'm going to use the big one because this is the 6x6 and it is a little bit big. So I'm going to try to find the center of both my card in each direction, right? Keeping my score line as, because the score line, you know, is the center point longitudinally, right? So that is your definite center. So making sure that you have approximately the same amount on both ends. You can eyeball it, or you can go ahead and actually measure it out if you want to. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to eyeball it. And I am going to use, my Post-it tape, okay? Let's put that back in where we want it. All right, I'm going to put a little bit here. I'm going to put a little bit on this side. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in my trimmer. Alright, you guys, you don't want, let me share with you how we're going to align that's my stamp cleaner, our cutting plate. Okay. Our sandwich. So we need, for our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, we need plate number 1. We're going to need plate number 2, and I'm going to need to, me personally, need to get my plates redone. Cutting plate number 1, and I'm going to use my magic mat. Right. And then I'm going to add the cardstock with the die. And the thing about this process, guys, is you only want the cutting plate, the top cutting plate, on just a little smidge. You want it exactly on the score line, but it's okay if you go a little bit further, but not shorter, okay? And I mean a little bit, because wherever you have that cutting plate is where it's going to cut through on that die, okay? All right, let's go. Oops, that slipped a little bit. Making sure that we have plates exactly where we want it, because we want it to cut exactly where we need it for it to cut, right? Have that on that cutting score line there, on the score line here, and let me make sure. I'm not seeing clearly tonight. There we go. Then we're going to get this to start going through. And we're going to cut. And we might want to make this pass through a couple of times, because we are trying to cut through multiple layers, okay? See if it cut through on that first pass. It kind of did not cut through on that first pass. Okay. So let's go ahead and line this up again. Make sure it is on the cutting path, on that score line. And then we're going to run it through. That's that line. My eyesight is horrible. It is. I don't know what I'm going to do if it gets too horrible and I can't see anything. And I won't be able to indulge myself. It's not usually this hard, y'all. It's just for whatever reason I'm having a little difficulty seeing this evening. Because this has slipped so far. Alright. Alright, I think we're good now. Let's get this to cut through. Alright, give me just a moment. There we go. That should work. That should be exactly where we need it. Yeah. I don't know, maybe I should grab some tape and get it situated. Trying to make sure that we get through and we get a good cut on the lines. Alright, let's see what we got here. I think so. But for good measure, I'm going to run it through one more time. Let's turn this around. Add that on there. Add my cover plate. My cutting plate, not cover plate. And I'm going to run it through one more time. Every little shift is a problem. There we go.